So yeah, stuff we talked about today that, like I'm saying, it's just like too many concepts to just be like, go home and work on that. So we're playing, minor pentatonic stuff, for instance, say in B, just so we're not like so back down in this part of the fretboard. And how you're going to use your fingertips, not like that, like so that you could always go if you needed to. One second. What's up with that? That's what's up with that.
Whoa!
Did I actually get you?
No, thank God.
I will deal with that on my own time. Excuse me. That happened. So, moving on to not happening. Totally. So, like, we want you to be in a position where you can go at all times if you wanted to. So, for starters, kind of not so much. I'm like this, flat down. You're supposed to use your fingertips, but the double stops are a perfect example. So, Section 1, play something you normally do, and then do a double stop. Go like, or something like that. Just like, fuck with that for a second. Great. Next thing we're talking about. Structurally, we've been talking about how to transition between, and it just turns out we didn't get to up the neck, but those are, just use your strong fingers a lot in terms of, versus like, though this one, there's multiple ways to do it. Anyway, we'll definitely talk about that next time. Cool, so, this is what's up. We talked about how, you want the whole thing that made it feel like is what was intuitive was that your index wasn't fretting yet. So, if I think about myself actually playing, I might do that when I'm doing this, but then if I go, my index dips back there. So maybe it's not the best tendency for me to still do that, but I feel like I'm consciously deciding to do it for fun.
Yeah.
Like, just feels like I'm doing a more expressive bend. Cool.
Yeah.
So there we are. So now your pentatonic scale most def goes in every instance. And definitely, now you're going to remember that we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Cool, so then, why this? Because we bend so often here, and because we advance so often in the pentatonic too, where we're going to just kind of DQ the low strings. We know they're there. That's way more of like a major scale type fingering, and then you end up in this, what do I do here? So kind of just like focus on just the part. Also, there's a really good blue note right there, just, right one fret up from there. So what did I just say? We're playing B minor pentatonic. Right there. There's a good one. So then we talked about transitioning on the third string, which is the less obvious one. When we're going up, I want you to use your middle finger, contradicting stuff I said before, but it all is like, what am I on the way to? And when you do this, I want you to do a single note slide as opposed to a, sounds like 2-note slide. Not even thinking about, I did this, like I was here, just I slid to this note. So I'm just like, and that's the one you're already prone towards. And then when we descend, ring finger so that we're right into our normal juxtaposition for playing. Again, that was like, and there you're going to be really tempted to do this again, so you're not. So, like, I don't know, like, or like, or whatever, that's from a million songs, but the Dead song, or whatever. Anyway, so there's some stuff we talked about, section. Then we talked about playing behind the box, where I want you to just use your index and ring. Like we're so obviously doing this that way, like in this Hendrix thing. And then like kind of these next three notes, it's like sort of whatever, who cares? But if we wanted to be playing, we want to be in a spot where we could bend or advance, but so much of it happens. And there's another blue note, the flatted fifth that we decided you're going to realize is in there. And when we get to the major root there, we transition so much. So there's going to be a whole lot of stuff that's like using exactly that, or stuff where you're up here and then you transition. Not so much I go across all 6 strings with you, or you're going to just index ring your way through the whole thing, and this is the same stretch we're doing there. Major scale's totally different. It goes, I am using the most efficient 4-finger approach, and then we deviate from that. Section. Another thing we talked about, when that phrasing came to mind, you immediately went and wanted to do it with your ring finger, middle finger, or something. Index is optimal. Whether you're going or going, up into the box. So there, section, and this is what I mean by like you can literally follow along with this. Pause when I say,
Yeah.
There it's like we're condensing it to the elements. And then we talked about your situation where it was like in yours. So just play it staccato. That phrasing is in everything. So we play the first note staccato, which is like a just figure out how to do it thing, and then we go like legato. So it's like that's a phrasing you can always do when you're like, what I forget what to do. You just go like, because everything sounds cool after. And once you start, everybody plays that all the time. So yeah, there's that, and just the portion of keeping your bent up like that. That's more of a novelty happens sometimes thing. And in the phrasing you played, if memory serves, it was like, and then it was like, which answers the why am I not leaving my finger up there? So that we can articulate that bend. Cool. So then, then I'm gonna send you this Born in a Bad Sign video of me teaching that the Hendrix track, and I'll send you the commercial track of him playing in an MP3. I think that's kind of everything we went over. And so, push against your tendencies. Make yourself bend a lot, and I know it's like, but I do bend all the time, but I mean like with the fingering choice we're talking about, and I know I've sold you on why those are the optimal fingering choices. When we get into major scales, it's a different story, but that doesn't sound like something you're interested in doing right off the bat. It's sort of for a totally different style of playing, and that's more complicated. Alright, there it is.